leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Okay, we're live.
We're live. We're just doing our voice warm-ups.
Hello, the media of social.
The Flash was denied a bank loan.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yes.
From Anchorman.
Yep.
I love Scotch.
I am Dr. Cody Golman, and this is
Aron James Yeager, not doctor yet.
Yeah, not yet, but doctor of many things, not in the official physical capacity.
That's right.
But
that's right.
Cosmically a doctor.
Really excited about the topic today, Dr. Cody. This is going to be fun. The wealth starts in the body. So, so where do you want to start with this? Because this is a fascinating topic, and obviously we're gonna go as quickly as we can through some awesome topics. But yeah, and if anybody has comments, please ask questions and comment below.
Here's where I want to start with this. You guys might have heard this. I heard this for the first time 2 days ago, and I was like, yes. So I don't know who's quoted originally in saying this, but the quote is, when you have your health, you have a million problems. When you don't have your health, you only have one problem.
That's so good. I have not heard that before. If you have one more time. If you have a million problems.
No. If you have your health.
If you have your health.
You have a million problems.
You have a million problems. If you have your wealth, or you have
you don't have your health.
If you don't have your health, you have one problem, which makes sense. Yeah. Yes. That is a good one. That's a writer downer and one that makes you think. I love that.
Yeah, because I did the same thing you did. To the first part of it was like, when you have your health, you have a million problems. What? And so we could change that to say, when you have your health, you get to have a million problems. Now, that might be a nice way to say that, because life is a series of problems. There's many philosophical people before us who said that life is a game and it's made up of problems. Okay. And so there's one philosopher who said that all we're doing in life is exchanging one problem for another. That sounds depressing, but when you really look at it, let's say in business, I got a problem. I need more clients. That's a problem. I want to exchange that problem for, I have too many clients, and now I got a problem of, I got to hire employees. That's a new problem. Right. The illusion is that you're going to get away from problems. So I love this, right? Because you're like, if you have your health, you get to go through these problems.
Get to. Right. Notice you didn't say need or have to. Get to.
Yeah.
Love that.
So I really love that.
Yeah, it reminds me also, if anybody's listened to Alan Watts, he's one of my favorites. There's a video, we can even post it in the comments if we want to, but it's simply about taking the stance and the positioning that everything always works out for me. No matter what, every challenge, or if you want to call a problem, stick with the problem. Every problem brings forth with it a new problem, opportunity, challenge, whatever that may be. It's our focus on way that we look at the problem, how it's coming to us, because we get out of frame, right? Our frame or our construct. I like to use the word frame. External things that can pull us out of our center or out of our alignment. And so there's a lot of different examples or kind of modes we got going on here, but it really comes down to that thing is that each problem, and we can redefine that if we want to, but each problem is part of that journey. It's a new data point without emotion. We can clear emotion from it, and it can become much simpler.
Yeah. I love that, man. It's cool because we're really breaking down that little statement and looking at even what problems are. And if life is a game, some people don't really like that analogy, but if you play a game, checkers, against the kindergarten, the game isn't fun. But if you play checkers against someone who's like a pro level player, even though you might be losing, you actually have more fun. So it's interesting because
I was going to say, it might not be that fun because you're going to get your ass kicked, but I get the example.
But it's interesting because you're not that interested in playing with the kindergartner. Is it really fun to win on a 6-year-old? To be as big as that fun?
I've met some people.
Yeah, you got to decide that for yourself, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's what's interesting though, is So are you, when you have your health, it's leading into, okay, I get to actually face these problems, and actually I get to have bigger problems. I want to create bigger problems for myself. If you don't create and choose your problems, life will choose them for you. Not sure if anyone's noticed that one, right? So, so this is where the whole health thing comes in. Is I admittedly severely undervalued health until 40. I just took it for granted, and I was a chiropractor and helping everyone else, but I completely took it for granted. And then when it was taken away, that statement means so much to me. When it was taken away, I really only had one problem. I did not have multiple problems. Like all the stuff I was building and the Amazon and the products and all those problems went away. It was like, how do I get healthy? And this is so true. To be laying in bed, and all I wanted was, can I just go for a walk and have the energy to eat something again? And can I just breathe normally? It's so true. So I don't know why some of us have to go through a lot of pain to actually get to appreciation, but I had to, so I'm okay admitting that.
Everyone raise their hand if they can relate. Yes.
That's right.
It's a big thing. And many of us, some of us are a lot, there's the word stubborn comes to mind. There's also just simply, this also might be your path, your cosmic path that we all have to learn in some way. Some just have to fall and steam their knees a little bit more. Others have to get close to death, on the deathbed, just like you. And it's not, there's no judgment, there's no better way. It simply is. It truly does start in the body, because as the body, and also when we're talking about wealth, it's not just financial wealth. Health is wealth. Wealth is to be able to go do things, to express yourself, to have the freedom, right? So true wealth is in the body. I love the first statement you're making. I wanted to bring it back to that first statement, is that there's certain things you can have as much money in the world, and if you don't have your health, if you can't physically move and go do things, are you actually wealthy? From a monetary standpoint, a scorebook, the scoring, keeping score in business and all that, or you could have been handed a lot of money and not be able to go use it. You can go do other things for other people if you can't get healthy, but it's important. The true wealth starts in the body.
Yeah.
Thank you for those examples. I love those examples. That's great.
Yeah. Love how everything you're saying, 100%, man. And I want to give a little bit of a cosmic framework of this. Okay. So check this out. Money, business, relationships, career, you need a body to have them. When you're not in this body, you don't have those things. That's what I'm really going at from a cosmic level. So all of a sudden, this thing for me now becomes more important than anything, because even my relationships started falling away because I couldn't have a relationship. You don't have a relationship without a body, at least in this world. So you might have a relationship, but it's a very different relationship. Energetic relationship, that's there. I get that. So I think that's really a big piece, is then if we are energetic beings and we're given this body, is there anything more wealthy than your health? Because the body, without it, you really can't do much. It's very challenging to do anything. I've tried. Even with all the money, like you said, in the world, when your body is not functioning right, you can try to pay for all the things, but it just doesn't carry as much of value as if you're actually experiencing it. So this is our thing to experience: relationships, even emotions, love. You need a body to do that. Like, these are emotions come in and they're refracted through all these physical senses, and you need to go, my chest is tight. What if you don't have a body, you don't even feel a tight chest. When you experience love and you want to tear up, where are the tears coming from when you don't have a body?
Yeah.
This is wealth, man.
This is true wealth. This is an incredibly fascinating topic. I've never really looked at that way. And that beginning quote, or that example, was fantastic. So with that being said, true wealth starts in the body. What are some ways that people can start to really churn their wealth, freedom, all that kind of stuff, not just monetary, with the body? Let's talk about that.
When you said turn, I thought you said churn, CHURN,
Mhm.
which is the term in your digestive tract that your food, your digestive system churns your food. What it means is it takes the form of the food and it extracts out the stuff it needs and it eliminates the stuff it doesn't need, and that's how you build your body. So like how I heard those, like, how do you churn, right? Because like, how do you churn your body into this? That's what the body's doing. So it's like, then that's the answer, is how do I take in the material and energetic things and I pull out the stuff I need and then extract the stuff I don't need. That's what the body's doing. It's we've already been seeing the model, right? So I think number one, there's some basic things, number one, but I used to poo-poo nutrition. I thought nutrition was just whack. Now I realize I was really wrong. Food, there's nothing that will ever be better than food. And that has been true no matter how many supplements people try to get you to take. The amino acid chains that are inside food, inside meat, are hard to match. The nutrients, the phytochemicals inside vegetables, the antioxidants inside vitamins, very hard to match. Yeah. So just those basics, that food and the water is like the basic thing. And interesting enough, I got to say this. If you weren't in the way, your health would be like really easy.
Oh yeah.
And I say you meaning me, right? Yeah.
Yes. And that what you're also meaning too is like the belief system, the unconscious patterns that are there that are holding your body back even from that true health. Now, just a quick share. I just finished a 4-day water fast. And I on this subject here, I want to talk about how the churn or the reset for me, the reason I do that almost quarterly. Now, I haven't done it for a while, and I'm really happy I did. I almost went 5 days, but I didn't need to after all the work that I had done in Tulum. But like with this, what it does is reset the body to say, okay, we're going to go without food, just water and some electrolytes for that. What it builds up is this level of gratitude for food. Ooh. And gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to change our wealth dynamics, change our wealth frequency. So as you remove the food, although the food is good for you, this temporary reset is the ability to churn what was going on before. If let's say I was eating during work time, I'm eating my stress. If I'm not separating myself, we can eat our problems and our challenges, and it just gets stored in the body again. And so if let's say I had some bad habits, a reset is a great way to clear everything out and then start to build up that, oh my man, I'm really getting hungry. Okay, I'm going to keep working through this, but man, I am looking forward to having clean food, good food, healthy antioxidant food. And so it's really interesting is coming back into it, how careful and how time slows down and how my wealth built and how much wealthier I felt as I started coming into, one, I accomplished my goals from an integrity with myself. Two, I'm coming in and stepping in with good, clean food only. And it feels amazing. And my true wealth restarted in my body.
Ooh, wow. I love that image, that picture, because what you're describing is what I see people go through in my Fast 40 program. When we ask people to remove bread, cereal, rice, pasta, and sugar, and ask them to eat lean meats, vegetables, and fruits. It's very simple. We're not going crazy with this thing. We're not like, you need to just go. It's simple. And what's interesting is what you described is that's exactly what occurs is by day 20, almost everyone says this, Dr. Golman, do you know that a strawberry tastes like amazing? And I'm like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And we should do a whole episode on this, AJ, but on sugar specifically, the 1500 years of sugar. There's a 1500-year history that the wealthiest countries on the planet are the ones that own the sugar plantations. And then within 300 to 500 years, someone demolished them because they were so sick and weak they couldn't fight. So it's interesting that that's been going on for a long time, right? So what's interesting is when we put all this other stuff in the body, it tricks the brain. And so when you eat a strawberry, you're like, this isn't that good. When you pull those things out, food tastes amazing. Everyone says, oh my God, this this lean meat, this chicken, this turkey, this broccoli, it tastes really good. And I think you start to get true appreciation. But a lot of the stuff that's been put in our food, sugar-wise, it takes you away from getting to actually taste the beautifulness in our food.
For sure. I want to point out that that's a form of wealth right there.
Ooh,
right. Getting back to like cleansing our system of those things that are all distraction and noise and crap for our body that takes us lowers that frequency. Now you're in this place where even these basic things that are, by the way, grown out of the soil, they've been here for thousands and thousands of years, are tasting better. So that in and of itself that you just explained there is wealth. And again, it starts in the body. It starts with this food we're putting in ourselves.
Yeah. So maybe recommending people do a cleanse, like actually to do a 4 or 5 day cleanse fast. We actually have a cleanse. If you can reach out to us. I've got a 7 day, it's a free cleanse. Vegetable and juice broth is what you drink.
Yeah. And
you eat vegetables. It just cleans your system out amazing. So I love that. So we have physically and then water. Water is the number one thing, man, for electrical communications in the body, for all the body processes. I would be drinking half your body weight in ounces in water. That's what I drink. I recommend everyone drink. So that's really big, man. Let's go back to the health as well. Specifically, if you got yourself out of the way, health would be easy. And I want to just explain that real quick because, Aron, you ate breakfast this morning?
I did.
Which enzymes did you use to digest your food?
Digestive enzymes.
And what amount did you use to digest that specific food?
I have no idea. I trust my system to do that for me.
So you have no idea. So man, here's the interesting thing. We have no idea. I mean, that's the truth. I've said this before, but if you and I read every medical textbook, every anatomy textbook, we'd understand 3 to 5% of how the body works. We literally do not understand how this thing works. But that means there's an intelligent power within, and that's where I'm going with this. So you have an intelligent power that takes your food and it turns it into your muscles. And how are we not like just massive gratitude for that? I'm just like, that's amazing. And then you've got 60,000 miles of arteries and veins circulating nutrients and oxygen so that way your organs and tissues don't die. How are we just not breathtaken by that?
Yeah.
And so I can go on. Yes, the skeletal system. You have a skeletal system that holds you upright against gravity. And every 7 years, every little bone cell dies and repairs to where you have a brand new skeletal system every 7 years. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I say this because you and I have no idea consciously how this works. So when we consciously move out of the way, health just is a natural state. And I want to counter the teachings over the last 100 years from the oil and pharmaceutical industry. The teaching has been that your body is in a place where it's trying to avoid illness and sick, and it's kind of leaning towards sick, and you need something on the outside to get you healthy. And that couldn't be further from the truth. The truth is the power that put your nose here, and it took 2 cells from mom and dad and built an entire organism, that intelligent power is still in you running. And maybe we do one of our next talks on the interaction of the soul or the body, the mind, onto the body itself in terms of wealth. But I just want to go there with it.
I would love that. I think that'd be a great one to go with. Yeah, this is absolutely fascinating. And so in wrapping up too, it's with true wealth starting in the body. We talked about gratitude. We talked about trusting. And part of that, and we've done this in previous sessions, which is connecting with your soul, your mind, your heart, and your gut. And really in meditation, going in and giving gratitude for these body parts, even if you did it once a month, but like I prefer to do it, even weekly, just like thanking your body, thanking these systems, the organisms, these intelligences that are always listening, always on, 24/7. There's no resting for them. They don't just rest. They're always going and serving us. So by going in and doing that, we can activate that frequency inside to help us digest better, to the heart to beat better. This can create long-term effects. So many people have cardiology problems. My father had essentially 3 heart attacks, but one main big one. And He just kept eating the things that he thought he should eat, or thought was delicious. Now, he wasn't an overweight man at all, but like, had he had a little bit more attention to his body and gratitude, I think all the people that may be obese or overweight, that's all the negative frequencies. They're eating shame, guilt, fear, all of these things. And so that keeps going in the body. No wonder the body gets diseased. So the more that we can just be on the other side of that, no matter where we're at in life, that is a beautiful reset. And it's a beautiful way. Gratitude and trusting our body and sending that information and communicating with these alive pieces inside of us.
Man, you just gave me that I had the chills. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm not taking just 5 minutes to sit, or even when you first lay in bed and actually scan through all part of your body and go, thank you, brain, for giving the ability to think. Thank you, mouth and eyes, I can see. I mean, what a great thing to do. I'm putting this in my schedule. Yeah. I'm going to go to bed and go through thanking every body part. Because if not, you don't have anything. And that you're literally thinking, now you're giving gratitude back to wealth, because you're acknowledging this is my wealth, and I'm going to give gratitude back to wealth so that it can flow.
That's the starting point of the day. And if anybody wakes up and you're just like, oh, if your first thought is negative one, or you're just not feeling well, like, just stop and like build that true wealth in your body by doing that certain scan. By getting those aligned, soul, mind, heart, gut, doing the full check, even all of your body parts, right? But the first one is those 4, then you're literally like, you feel better because you're giving someone else gratitude. Because like, if you want more something in your life, go give it to someone else and you get that back in return. It's a very simple process, a very simple algorithm. But if you start with yourself in the morning and just get out of bed and notice, cool, you have this alignment with these 4 parts of you, and they're going to serve you that much better. So I'm glad you're going to put that in. That's something that I have my clients do. It's really fun.
That's a great idea, man. Well, this is great, man. Love meeting with you. And maybe, well, I know we're going to be meeting tomorrow. You pick the topic, but I think it could be a transition, if you want, is to the health as well. Wealth starts in the body. What's the interaction of the mind and the body's health? Could be interesting. Okay,
I'm down to. Let's just go with that. We'll keep this series going. Thank you so much. Great topic again. Always good to see everybody. We've been offline for a couple of weeks, so it's good to see everybody.
Yes, thanks, love you all.